Welcome to Abandoned to Abundant, the podcast where we reclaim our power, we rewrite our stories, and step fully into the abundant life we deserve. I am your host, Linda Brand. I am a certified life coach, a dream builder coach, and an entrepreneur. I know what it feels like to be lost, stuck, and alone. I know what it feels like to be abandoned by life circumstances, but I also know what it takes to rebuild and create a life of overflowing with passion, purpose, joy, and abundance. You are worthy of living a life of joy and abundance. If you're here, there's a reason. If you're ready to break free from limiting beliefs, step into your most authentic self, learn to love yourself, manifest the life of your dreams, you are in the right place. Let's shift from feeling abandoned to feeling abundant. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, and welcome back to Empowered, Abandoned to Abundant. I am so excited for today's guest. We had some challenges, but we're here and we're going to record, and I'm so excited. So welcome, Dede Lyons. She is an empowerment coach and founder of the Feel Good Express lifestyle program. Dede will share how her self-love journey enhanced all areas of her life, which is what I always talk about, how self-love will enhance all areas of your life, and how she attracted her loving soulmate of 40 years, manifesting a successful career in broadcast sales and management in New York City, and on to spiritual empowerment and so much more. She will empower us on how to fall in love with ourselves, step into our power, own our gifts, and connect us with our guardian angels. Her motto is believe it before you see it. Welcome, Dede, to the show. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited.
Thank you, Linda. It's an honor to be here.
Yes. You say that you start out usually drawing an angel card. So would you love to do that?
Yes, I would. So this is from my angel healing deck.
Okay.
And when I work with people, I usually have, a couple of cards in the beginning and then a couple at the end. So they're bookends.
Okay.
So I'm going to be picking a card for this special podcast and see what the angels want to tell us. Soulmate.
Oh, what is this?
So when you get the soulmate card, well, I know I'm with my soulmate for almost 40 years, but also soulmates are people, or I had a Bichon pet that was a soulmate.
My dog.
That just totally gets you. You feel like you've known them before. They come in and out of your life. A lot of times it's romantic and a lot of times it's not. But yeah, that's it. So I love that when I'll meet somebody and they'll say, oh, we just get each other. And we feel like we saw each other or knew each other in a prior.
Would that mean like I have a soulmate coming because I am not with a partner right now? So would that?
Yes. Mm-hmm. If you focus on it and you intend it and don't put anything in the way of blocking it, doubt, fear, worry, you'll attract him.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you. Oh. Okay, perfect. So in your bio, Dede, it says that at age 40, you realized you and your colleagues were burned out. What was the exact moment that made you say, I need to change this?
I would say I was hearing a lot around that time. You're not going to last that long in this career, Dede. You're going to burn out. I mean, your sales team, it's just one of those businesses that you need to go either to the station or go to the advertising agency, because we were the middle woman, man between the ad agency and the TV station. The TV station paid us commission to get them advertising for all their stations. So we had over 100 stations. I mean, I had 25 on my team. So you can imagine the rate cards and the inventory that's changing daily, minute by minute. So it was just stressful. So I thought, well, I'm going to be in this for a while. And that's when I started to look into de-stressing tools and techniques.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit of background, because the audience doesn't know, but like about your journey.
Okay. So my background is pretty much almost all in New York City. My mother and my father divorced when I was 7. We were living in Chicago, and she took me and my 3 sisters to New York, where she was a career woman plus a rockette and in her earlier days, but she was raising 4 daughters in the 50s and 60s. single mom. So she was carrying the torch for us women that are single and, have children and all that. But so it actually started in New York City. And then I lived in New York City. I'm laughing because I lived there from 7 to 54. And then I got recruited to the NBC affiliate here in West Palm Beach. But I was 32 years in broadcast sales and marketing. So a lot of people go, how did you get into connecting people with their angels and the spirituality? And that all started in 1997. But the best part that I want to share is when I turned 30, I went to therapy to learn how to love myself. And once I learned to fill up every layer with love, I was able to attract my soulmate, Joe. So I was doing that from 30 to 40 in New York City on 11th Street every Tuesday and Thursday therapy. And I thought, I'll go for a couple of years. I didn't know I'd end up going for 10 years, but it was so worth it.
Oh, wow. How did you find the good therapist? Just curious. Was it right away or did you go through a few of them or?
It was interesting. I found one right away. There was, I was living on 11th Street at the time, and someone told me about this institute, Washington Square Institute, that they had great therapists that were actually had their own private, sessions company, whatever, or what should I say for that? Anyway, they had privates, but they also volunteered here. So I lucked out. I got this great woman. Her name was Leslie. And I went in there and I said, look, if you saw me then, you would go, wow, she's got it so together. She's fun. She's pretty. She's got a great job, lots of friends. She's all this stuff. But inside I had this hole because my mother wasn't able to love me. So I went 30 years without loving myself. So I told her, the therapist, that, and I said, is it possible to learn at age 30 how to love yourself? And she said, absolutely. We're going to do it.
Oh, wow. And it's so essential. So essential. What were some of the first tools and practices you implemented to work on that, to learn to love yourself?
Right. So what happened was I was in like deep Freudian therapy. When I help people love themselves, it's much quicker than 10 years. But when I was in therapy, I had to go back. It was very Freudian where I had to go back. I was in the crib, pre-verbal. So I did a lot of crying the first couple of years, but I just really, her and I together made me realize how lovable I was. And at one point, I remember writing, this was later, for 10 days, 70 times, I totally forgive myself for ever thinking I wasn't lovable. Look, I'm going to cry now. And the whole time I was writing it for those 10 days, boy, was I, crying. By the 10th day, it was like, whoo, I'm lovable. And that's not just a total fix, but it's one of the tools I was using.
So it's rewiring the subconscious, right? By repeating and writing it. So you wrote it 70 times for 10 days straight, saying that you forgive yourself for believing you were unlovable?
Yes.
Wow.
Forever thinking.
Oh, forever thinking you were unlovable. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so incredible. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And that came later from a rebirther. But in those 10 years, I met my husband when I was in the 4th year. So when I held his hand for the first time, I knew it felt like my other hand. I knew he was my soulmate. So it was late. I was 34. Most of my friends were on their second marriage or having babies and all that. But so that love that I was getting from Joe too, all those years, was filling me up too. But I knew I had to fill myself up first to attract him, because what I was doing is picking people that gave me crumbs and didn't realize that. I would pick people who had one foot out the door, all of that.
Because that's unavailable. Yeah. Emotionally unavailable people, right? Because
right. So Joe was like so available. So he was in on it with me, wasn't in therapy with me, but that extra love that was coming in, and now, wow, I found my soulmate, that was helpful.
Oh yeah. Where did you guys meet?
We actually met where I work. I worked at this company called Petrie Television, and he was in upper management. I was in middle management. And then I had this great experience in 1997 with connecting, having an angel reading. And soon after that, I went to another company. I was at the competition, had fun doing that. But the spiritual journey to connect to the angels was amazing. It was just so wonderful.
I love that. I love it so much. So that's a practice that you continue with, the angels, like you read the cards and different things.
Oh, yeah. So what I do is I learned in 1997. Now, this was pre-secret and all that. And I was in the throes of broadcast sales in Manhattan. And I had a team of people, team of 16 people reporting to me. So I was always looking for ways to de-stress them along with me, because you want to make budget and goal and hire great salespeople, sales assistants, and all that. So I love that I was able to connect with the angels. I went for one angel reading, and it was with this woman, Trudy Griswold, who wrote a book called Angel Speak. She lived up in Connecticut, and she showed me how to connect to the angels through journaling. And I started connecting so fast, my handwriting would change, and I'm like, wow, what's going on? This is great. So what started to happen next was clair cognizance. Are you familiar with the 4 clairs at all? There's claircognizant is crystal clear knowing, clairaudient, crystal clear hearing, clairvoyant, crystal clear seeing, and then clairsentious, which is the most common, is us women that are very empathic have that gift, and that's the one you have to protect the most. But the claircognizance was, I just knew exactly what that person needed. So I started to go on these double team sales calls with some of my team, and they'd go, that person, I've been calling on them for 10 years. They told you more in this sales call than they've ever told me. So then I realized that I had that gift. But what I would say is not, I have an angel message for you. I would say, I have some feedback for you. Are you interested? And they'd say, yeah, I'm interested. Wow. So a channel got open. So I just kept working in broadcast sales and marketing. And I kept thinking, I need to get to the top of the Himalayas. I need to get to Sedona, or the vortex.
Yeah. Did you go?
No, I never did. And the angels kept saying, you need to stay in this business, which was 32 years, because those people at the ashrams and the wellness centers and all, they're there. These are the people that you.
Right. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And then which angel is it that you connect with?
Well, I connect primarily with my guardian angel. And that's what I show people how to do, because your guardian angel is just yours. She or he is with you from the minute you step out of the womb until you step into the other side. And they hover. And if you don't give them things to do, they won't do it, because it's all about free will. So I have a lot of my clients do an angel to-do list every Monday or Sunday night.
Can you walk us through one of those?
Yeah. So your to-do lists, my to-do list, I would say, okay, get my computer to work so I can get on this podcast with Linda today. We had a few problems now that Mercury's in retrograde, so I'm not going to blame it on me.
Right. But we had a lot of challenges to record.
Yeah, we really did. So for me, it's, set aside this time for a workout, go to Whole Foods, go to the bank, go buy a gift for somebody, all that, set up my week, my calendar. But for the angels, I'm like, my husband, he's depressed. Can you help him with that? Because when someone's depressed or sad, you can be compassionate, kind, and loving, but you can't really fix it. Or my mother has cancer and she's just not doing well with it. Or my son's in school and he's not as focused and he's failing a couple of subjects. Can you help my son get more focus? So a lot of it is me asking the angels either to talk to the other person's angels and help them, or just help them with something I cannot fix or do.
Are you ready to stop wishing and start living your dream life? As a certified dream builder coach, I'm here to help you design a life you absolutely love. In my 12-week Dream Builder coaching program, we go deep into uncovering what truly lights you up, breaking through the fears and limitations holding you back, and taking real inspired action toward your vision. This is more than a program, it's a transformational experience that will shift the way you see yourself, your goals, and your future. If you're ready to create your dream life instead of just dreaming about it, let's make it happen together. The link is in the show notes. You are worthy of your dream. It is possible for you, and I am waiting for you. And there is a special going on right now, so check the link in the show notes, and I would love to see you there. If you have any questions, send me a message.
So that's it.
So every Monday, you give your clients, you tell your clients to ask their angels for a to-do list on Monday.
Yeah, well, they know it. Sometimes I remind them,
But it's usually
it comes in the session. It's one of the things you need to do weekly, or it'll come in a private or a class. That's really so important.
Okay. So you have a brand, you have the Feel Good Express. And what is the core philosophy of the Feel Good Express, and how can people apply it to their daily lives?
So the core really is falling in love with yourself. When you love everything about yourself, everything shifts, whether it's more friendships, soulmate, career opportunities. And I have everybody do another thing that's part of this. You fall, in order to fall in love with yourself, you have to release worry and doubt. I'm looking at my Dede's daily do's. Okay. Everybody has one of these that works with me, but so the release worry and doubt, that comes in the morning. That came from a book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And she has her artists and producers and all her creative people just write front, back, front, 3 pages, just free writing. My clients write everything that they're joy blockers, everything that could be blocking their joy. You're worried about this, you're sad about this, you're angry about this, and then you shred it. And then the next thing you do is you just go into gratitude mode. Now you can do it in front of the mirror, like my working women and people that are like, got to get out of the house really quick. Do it in the mirror while you're putting on your makeup or blowing your hair dry or whatever you're doing, that gratitude list. And then I have people, just be mindful as you're going through the day about your thoughts, like catch yourself. Some people I work with have the mean mommy syndrome. And it's more, if your mother was critical, my mother was, you might be doing that to yourself unknowingly, looking in the mirror for something.
Criticizing yourself. Yes, yes. I read that about the mirror, and I thought, what is she? Why in the mirror? But you just explained, because people are on the go. So there isn't mirror work specific. It's just if you're in a hurry while you're in the mirror, you're doing your gratitude.
Yeah, so you can combo those up. But I did pick up another great tool from Louise Hay, where I actually do the I love you in the mirror in the mornings.
I love it. Yeah, Louise Hay is the founder of all of this, right? All of the self-love. Yeah. And the EFT. Do you do EFT tapping at all?
I've done that. Yes.
Yeah. Love it. Yeah, I love that. So the Feel Good Express, you mentioned the gratitude, the morning pages, and shredding your self-doubt. What were the other ones?
So the other one is, I recommend journaling, but I know people don't have time to journal every day. So journal once a week. But after you do the gratitude list, just be mindful, like catch yourself. Like I used to do something, I remember reading that people have 80,000 thoughts a day. I forget how many there are. And 70, 80% are negative. I was like, there's no way. That's not me. This is about, 15 years ago. So every time I had a negative thought with a little pen, I put a little dot at the end of the day. I was going, oh my God, I didn't even realize. We all don't realize we have these little worries that seep in, right?
Yeah, it's a program where the default program is negative.
Yes, exactly. So, just stay aware of it. I like to make these things easy and fun.
Yes. And
And then, of course, make sure you're asking your angel, you're collaborating with your angel. Like you've got a project, you collaborate with her because we can't do this alone. And sometimes my deceased loved ones come in and help out. I don't know if you've ever had that happen, but they're there too to help.
yeah, I try to talk sometimes to them. So it sounds like you're super spiritual. And what were some of the things you did to fall in love with yourself? Did we talk about that?
Yeah, well, I started the mirror work. And I don't know if you've ever done any inner child work or know a little bit about it.
Oh, a little bit, the IFS and stuff. Like
Yeah, well, mine's more, I just read a book and read some articles, and I just get in the mirror and talk to my inner child. Her name's Ayla. So I check in with her every day because she runs the roost.
how
So
old is she?
she's sometimes 5 and sometimes she's 8. And one time she was like 14, 15, very bold and sassy. But most of the time she's around 7. And she likes a lot of attention. She likes to be included in everything. She wants to play. It's little Dede.
Yeah. And you named her though, Ayla?
My husband named her Ayla after that movie, The Clan and the Cave Bear.
Oh,
Ayla was the main character with Daryl Hannah. It was, I don't know, 20 years ago or something.
okay.
So I like that. I check in with Ayla.
Oh my goodness. I love all that. So, in your bio, you spoke of reading 400 books. And how did your journey of reading 400 self-help books shape your Feel Good Express program? Or were there any books specifically that had a profound impact on you? I know you mentioned Louise Hay, so I assume that's one. And The Artist Way.
Yes. The biggest one is Ask and It Is Given by Esther Hicks. I don't know if you've ever followed her.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I've seen her in person 3 or 4 times, because she'll come into Miami or Fort Lauderdale. And I find hers like one of my favorites. And I love her emotional guidance scale. I don't know if you're familiar. Yes.
Yes, I am. I also teach self-love, and I know about raising your vibration. And what's wild about that scale is that because I'm also in Florida, but on the other side of the state. And I changed my whole life 3 years ago, moved here from Michigan, and it's a whole story. And what I realized when I moved here and started the coaching and the podcast, which before the podcast, but the coaching, because I have a real estate background, and is that I was carrying shame for so many years about my past and things that I was ashamed of. And that is the lowest vibration.
Wow. I carried it for a while myself. So
I think
yeah.
a lot of women do in general, because we have but yeah, I am aware. So what were you going to say about the emotional guidance?
Well, I just love how, and I just did a little, because I do a dose of Dede once a week, and it's a little mini podcast. It's just me giving a tip. It's 60 seconds or so. And I just was doing one on that because, the big thing about the emotional guidance scale, that scale is all about feeling all your feelings. Your feelings are your guides. So if you are low, shame, fear, worry, doubt, anger, sadness, whatever all that is, that's okay. That's normal to have it. But how long are you down there? So she says, get a positive thought and get up to hope. And then when you get up to hope, you can start climbing up to the top, which is compassion, gratitude, and love.
Absolutely.
So that's what I love about it. Like, she's not saying like push these feelings away. She's saying be with them but you don't want to be with them all day long or for a
Right.
week.
We
Yeah,
can choose a better feeling thought. So you're saying
right.
feel your feelings, allow yourself to feel, but then choose something else. Don't dwell there. Don't stay there, right? Yeah, 'cause,
Exactly.
today I was having some emotions this morning too, and I was like, why is this? I didn't understand why I was having these challenges. So it was really an interesting, but I shifted and and I moved my body, which is one of the ways that I like to get, um,
Right.
release. So
Love that because the other book that I love is the one by Pema Chodron. I don't know if you know her. She's a Buddhist monk. She's probably in her 80s now, but
oh,
Pemachudron. And she has a bunch of books, but the one that she has is about living beautifully with uncertainty. And somebody asked her, did you know the pandemic was coming? Because it's about uncertainty, but she also talks about feeling your feelings and leaning into them, like really leaning into the sadness or the anger, and they start to soften. And then you get insights on what that's about. And then you
um,
can move up the
yeah,
scale.
it's something like from childhood, or it's something that needs healing, right? From the
Right, exactly. And she says, just lean in and be with it, and it won't get worse. Like some people overeat, undereat, overwork out, whatever, to get rid of those feelings that are so uncomfortable. So she says, lean in. And I usually, I swear by crying. I used to cry way, probably too much as a kid because I wasn't getting my needs fulfilled, as my therapist told me. But the tears, I feel like these tears are so sacred and they have little messages for us. You probably feel like this. People say, "Oh, I had such a good cry. I feel so good."
Right. It's a detox in a way.
Yeah.
It's a detox. It's, letting go, and because suppressing is going to manifest into the physical, right? You probably know
Yes,
that as well. Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
So let's see. You wrote a book, The Joy of Tweeting.
Yes.
What,
And
yeah.
go ahead.
No, what inspired you to write The Joy of Tweeting?
Well, when I was left, 32 years of broadcast sales and marketing and wanted to start my coaching and, doing classes and stuff, my sister was going, you have to have a book. So I'm like, okay, you have to have a book. So she's a graphic designer. My sister Monica, she's retired. She worked for Random House in New York and Golden Books. Anyway, so what we did is it's not that big of a book. We took all my tweets because I was tweeting then, and then with the photos, and it became like all positive things. And it was all about my transition from 32 years of broadcast sales and marketing into the spiritual journey.
Oh,
So
I
it's one of
love.
those books that you put in your Christmas stocking or on your
Oh,
nightstand. You can open to any page. And
oh, yeah. You might love this book. It's very small, and it's called How to Love Yourself in Less Than a Week and for the Rest of Your Life. And it's this
oh,
tiny little book. Rachel Madorsky, she was on my podcast. And yeah,
mhm.
she did the little art, but yeah, it's very small, and but I love that, the joy of tweets. That's amazing.
Yeah. And then I did this feel good journal a couple of years later because I was giving out journals in my classes that I was buying boxes off a line. And my sister was like, you need a journal. So basically, one of my grandsons, when he was 3, is on the front. And then, which is in Sag Harbor Beach, where I used to go in the summers. And then here is the Palm Beach side. But it's basically just all of my good sayings, positive sayings, and there's an angel I always say in every journal. So we write in there in my classes. I'll have to send you one.
Yeah, I'd love that. So many people fear change, especially later in life. What was it like to leave a 32-year career and fully step into this new path?
Actually, it was a lot easier than I thought it would be because I was ready. I was at the time 62. Now I'm tell my age, 74. You could look it up.
Look beautiful, and you don't look 70. Oh my God. I'm 50. I'm turning 57, and you look my age.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate
You're
it.
so welcome. It's true.
So I was I asked a few people, when do you know when you're ready? Because I really did like what I did, even though it was so stressful. But I did 25 in New York City and then 7 here at the NBC affiliate in West Palm. So I was really liking it. But I would ask like people who shifted out of these long-term careers and tried something else. And I just kept asking for signs. And then we got into first quarter budgets, goals, all of that. And I just went, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm ready to try this. But I was doing all of this work that I'm talking to, not all of it, with my sales team, with clients. And there were people that were just saying, Dede, take this job on the road. You've been doing it for the last, 10 years
Love it.
in the workplace. So it made it easier.
So you must know Gabby Bernstein, right?
Yes, she's amazing.
I know. I love her too. I have all her books, and I saw her live in Tampa a couple summers ago, and I have all her card decks. I don't do angel reading cards, but I have all these other like affirmation decks and all these love yourself, Louise. Is it Louise Hay? Yeah. And just so many Kyle Gray. You probably know Kyle Gray.
Yes, he's
Okay.
kind of taken over for Doreen Virtue.
Okay. Yeah, he's adorable. He was actually there when I met Gabby. Or went to see them live. I got to see
Nice.
him live. Yeah, he's so adorable. But yeah, he talks to angels. It's so cute. And so my question that came to me when you're talking about your angel is like, how do you know it's not God you're talking, like your higher self?
I love that you're saying that, because when people are journaling in my class or even journaling privately with me, or when they're not with me, they'll say, how do I know for sure it's my guardian angel? How do I know? And I said, I wouldn't get caught up in that. If it resonates with you and it feels really good, it could be God, it could be Mother Teresa, it could be the Blessed Virgin, all the ascended masters that are on the side. So stay with that. But the guardian angel, just so you know, she or he is all about you and keeping you aligned with your purpose, your soul's goals, all of that. They're just dedicated to you. So when I first started writing to the angels, I used to write to like a whole group because I had a lot of stuff I needed help with. So I thought I can't just ask one angel. And some people go to the archangels, like Archangel Michael or Archangel Gabriel. There's, 14, 15 of them. But like for courage and strength, I'll always talk to Michael. But for, I like just to write and start. If you get answers or you get insights, don't worry if it's God or Jesus.
Right. Where it's coming from, just
right. The universe,
Yeah, exactly. So you've appeared on many podcasts and TV shows. What's been one of your most memorable media experiences?
So actually the ones that I was doing with Voice America, they were all audio. And I really love just sharing my things about angels, magic, magic in the present moment. And I loved it. I guess I'm thinking I did about 5 with this wonderful woman, Dr. Jean Farish. And then I did a little segment, which was really fun a couple of years ago on News Channel 5 on Valentine's Day. And I talked about, love tips, and I had the hearts, the rose quartz hearts that you put in your romance corner. Actually, I give them out in my classes. It's an abundance toolkit, but I have the coins for your finance corner.
I love this.
Yes. And then for your far right corner, I have 2 rose quartz hearts for that. And I was doing that, and the anchor that was interviewing me, the journalist, she was so into the rose quartz hearts for her romance corner. And all these tools, the other one's just a little pocket angel, but this abundance toolkit works because you're going to intend it.
Right.
It's not so much like the hearts or the coins or whatever. And it starts with the Bagua Feng Shui. I only talk about the two corners, right corner for romance, left corner for finance as you're entering in your front door.
Okay.
But
I wondered
your
what you meant by
intention,
corner.
your far right corner, a pair of something pink or red. I can send you with the journal. I'll send you some hearts.
Oh, you're amazing. So it's the corner though, it's by the front. It's not like anywhere else. Like it's not in the bedroom or any of that.
Okay, so you're facing in your front door. It's so easy to do this in Manhattan. Everybody has a studio or a one bedroom apartment.
I'm in a one bedroom apartment, so
Right. So if you're walking in your front door, your back's, out the back. So you're
walking
far.
in.
What is that, your bedroom or your kitchen?
Wait, walking in from outside?
Yes, you're
Okay.
facing right into your house or your apartment.
It's an entry, and then to the left is the kitchen, and straight ahead is the living room.
And to the far right corner, because it's actually the whole layout.
It's
You
where I'm
gutted it.
sitting right now, is the far right corner of
Okay.
the living
See,
room.
you're in your romance corner. So make sure that there's no clutter in the corner. And that's where you would put the hearts. Like I met this guy had a broken fan in his romance corner. I was like, no wonder you don't have a girlfriend.
Right. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
So, decluttering is big when you're attracting abundance and romance.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that I know. I know about like abundance blocks, and I know about the secret and law of attraction and law of reception and all those universal. I love all of it so much. It's super fun. I love it. Of course, I still have the wiring and that I'm, unlearning and like we talked about the default program being negative or whatever, but like I have different crystals and different things. But we're magicians, right? We co-create with the universe, and
Yes,
we are.
exactly. And if you're ready, that's so important. You've got to be ready. Because I had one girl that we put hearts in the romance corner, and she's like, nothing's happening. So I said, are you ready? Oh, no, I'm not ready. I don't want to like share my space or move into somebody else. Men are too controlling. I'm like, okay. So that's blocking.
Right.
Or nobody's going to want me. I'm too old, so I'm too fat. I'm too this, I'm too that. I'm like, okay, that's blocking it.
Right. Your beliefs, limiting beliefs, right?
Yeah.
I did a solo episode on my podcast around dating and online dating specifically because, it's a thing here and nowadays, right? But I was saying multiple different things. And one of the things was if you don't believe you're worthy of that relationship, you're not going to have it, or you don't believe it's possible. Like all the good guys are they're married, they're this, there's no one, attractive, whatever. If those are your beliefs, then you're not going to have it,
Exactly. Yeah.
you know,
It'll block it.
it blocks it. So, but you manifested, so you've been doing this for many years because you manifested your husband who you met in when? 1997?
1985.
Oh,
And we
80.
got married in 1988.
So you've been doing manifesting a long time, right?
Right. But never as structured now. Now I have like the steps to do it. I was doing it because I started to love myself.
I
Right.
love that.
Love, the self-love pop that. But it also is, things seep back in, a worry, a doubt, a fear, I'm not lovable. So you need to just use these tools. It's like tennis or golf. You got to practice to get good at it.
Exactly. It's a practice, just like meditation's a practice, going to the gym, all these things.
Yeah.
So what would you do when fear and self-doubt and different things would show up? Do they still show up today? Because you're
Oh yeah. I do my worry and I've been doing that worry and doubt list for a long time. And even my husband, he'll go, did you do your worry and doubt list? You seem a little cranky.
Oh, that's funny.
And then I also have oils, my aroma oils. I have this that I put on every day. It's white angelica. These are all from the Young Living. And that's part of it too. I put on an oil every day. It blocks all negative energy coming in and out. White angelica.
So powerful. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. I just say a prayer if I remember to protect my energy because I'm very empathic and I definitely take on negative energies. And it's a thing. It really, really is.
Yeah, because if you're so empathic and you're teaching people how to love themselves and all the work that you do, you have to be careful of picking up someone's negative or draining energy and you don't even know it happened.
That's
and then
right.
later you go, why am I so low right now? What's
Right.
going on?
Exactly. And then you're like, oh, I was with this person on Zoom yesterday or something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it rubs off. And it's so you believe in protecting your energy. Do you believe in staying away from people that are negative and
Well, certain people you have to be around. Let's say you have a couple of toxic relatives and you have to be with them on Christmas or Passover or Easter or whatever, right? The other people, I don't have too many toxic people in my life anymore. But the ones that are relatives that you're going to see 3 times a year or whatever, what I do is I put the oil on and then I have a pink bubble around me. I'm like, okay, the pink bubble's around me. It's clear. Nobody else could see it but me. And then I just send them light and love and compassion.
Yeah.
Just love, compassion. Because I don't want to be, oh, I have to see that person again, Debbie Downer or whatever. I don't want to go in with that. I just want to go in as me, Dede, and not get affected by their dark energy. So if you keep sending light and love, it softens them.
It's so powerful. I love that. So, let's see, your work involves uplifting others, but how do you keep your own energy? Oh, we just talked about that and a positive mindset.
Yeah.
And then you've reinvented yourself multiple times. What advice do you have for someone feeling stuck and afraid to take a leap?
I would do what it is that you're worried about. Like write it down because you want to shred it, but so you can look what it is. So you know, oh, that's bothering me or that's worrying me. That doesn't, and most of these worries we have don't apply and aren't relative to what's going on for you right now. It's an old one. Like you said, you had an old shame thing, Linda.
Yeah.
That doesn't belong here anymore. So some people come in and talk to me and they have old stuff that doesn't belong. So just make sure also that everything you're feeling, I don't want to say is rational, but it's warranted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The other thing I do is write down everything that you want in this new leap, you want to happen, and then ask also for guidance from the other side. I do that. And there's another oil another oil you could put on from Young Living, and it's a courage. It's called Valor. And so whenever I was making, before I would get in front of people and do classes and stuff, I would load myself up with Valor. And when you put on oils, you put separate spots behind your knees, on the bottom of your feet, and here and here and here, because you want it to penetrate your body. But sometimes you don't want to go into somewhere where you're really not reeking, but you've got too much oil.
Yeah, because I was thinking the oils are mostly for diffusing, but you're actually putting them on your physical body. So that, yeah, because I
have one for inner child. Like if I do a class where I want everybody to get their inner child out to play. Now some inner childs will come out and want to cry, but we'll put inner child on. Or I have another one that's, my salespeople used to love it. Magnify your purpose. That's another one from Young Living. And that gets you right in the stream. Like if a lot of my team would be overwhelmed with this and pulled in all these directions, or they'd come in my office and go, where is that oil? And then it gets you right in your purpose. So you're not, because we get pulled in all different directions all day long, right?
Absolutely, we do. And it's like focus is a superpower right now, because especially with the way the world is right now with texting and social media and emails, there's so much,
I know. And you could easily get pulled into your to-do list, which can, get crazy.
And what does it truly mean now that we're talking about the fast-paced world? What does it truly mean to feel good in this fast-paced world?
Oh, okay. So it happens for me in the present moment. when I'm on my nature walk or when I'm giggling with my grandsons or friends, that is when I'm really feeling my joy. And when I'm not feeling it, I go to those places. Like when I walked down the aisle with my father and he was so happy and he was crying, I was crying, and I looked up at Joe at the altar and he was crying. So I go to those moments where I felt so good. Like when I was taking a walk with my grandsons when they were smaller, they're bigger now. And they would say, oh, Grandma, look. And they would see things that I wouldn't see because they were so present. So those are those moments. And I take myself there if I'm in a little bit of a, mood, low feelings. I go, I got to come up.
Yeah. Tell us like what your morning practice or evening practice. So you do all of the things that you feel good to express every day.
Yeah. So the first thing I do in the morning is the worry and doubt list. And sometimes I put on my oils first, but those are kind of neck and neck. And then I write everything, then I shred it. Then I go into gratitude mode. And sometimes I write out a gratitude list if I have time, or sometimes I do it in the mirror. And then when you're in gratitude mode, it's so hard to feel sad, mad, worried
Exactly.
because you're up here.
Yeah.
Try it. It's really hard. So that gratitude after the worry and doubt and the aroma oils, those are the three have to. And then, of course, then you're staying mindful, and then you're asking the angels. But when I get out of bed, the first thing I say right as I'm getting up, angels, universe, please put in my path people and experiences for my highest good. And
Mm,
then
mm, I
that's going
love
to
that.
come.
I love that. You reference your angels, so you don't say I mean, this is just me. I personally will say thank you, God, for a new day before I get out. So
Perfect.
yeah. And then do you do you meditate at all?
Yes, I do. So I'm not somebody, I have a friend that meditates in the morning for 20 minutes and at night for 20 minutes. So I don't meditate every day, but my nature walks, because I don't take my phone anymore to catch up with somebody, I listen to the wind. So I have this thing called the wind walk that actually my friend Joe Goldberg told me about. So you just listen to the wind, but sometimes the wind is really quiet. Sometimes it's on your back. Sometimes it's on your face.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yeah.
get to hear the birds and ruffling of leaves. And that to me is like a walking meditation. So I mix it up, but I do meditate. But then it's like journaling, meditating,
Yeah, it's
chanting.
a lot, right? It's a
Yeah.
lot.
So I just have those three main ones: the oils, the worry and doubtless, and the gratitude.
Yeah, me and the dog, which will be going after this, we go in nature almost every single day since I moved here. Yeah, and I just love it. And I try not to bring the phone. I do like taking photos, but I try to just have it on airplane mode, really, or like
Right.
just in case. But I love being
And
in nature.
pet, that's great. Pets keep you in the. I had a Bichon for 16 years. I loved being with her because she would get home. She would keep me so present,
Yeah,
So
we can learn a lot from them. They're so good.
yes.
I know
Mm-hmm.
I have him right here in the background just because he's so important in my life. He's
Yeah.
my soulmate
I
dog.
heard him with his squeaky toy.
Yes, he's so funny. Yes. Let's see. Can you share one of your favorite practical empowerment tools that listeners can start using today?
I would say the mirror work. That's big. And sometimes people can't do it, in a session. So I bring up their cell phone and we open it up to the camera, the video, and we do it there. But when you get in the mirror and you go eye to eye, soul to soul with your inner child, you're going to feel so different.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a few pictures of me at different ages, and it's really powerful to look at yourself when you were young and just kind of like reparent yourself. And because
That is great that you're doing that because I have people do that.
yeah,
Like The baby picture should be out at all times because that's when you had that sparkle, that glow, that sense of wonder.
Right. Before everything happened to you.
Right.
Right.
Our life came about.
And when we were, I always say 0 to 7, you're sponges and recorders taking on all the beliefs and energies of the people that caregivers and people who take care of you, your teachers, whatever. And these aren't your beliefs. They're
Right.
somebody else's. And that's why getting real with what is my limiting belief and where did it come from?
Right.
And I was just interviewing before you this 19-year-old empowerment coach and empowerment speaker, and he is incredible, 19. And he had so much wisdom, so much knowledge, he was abused by his father, all these things. And at like 14 or 15, he made a decision that this is not going to be my future. I'm going to figure this out. And he's just incredible. It's going to be a great, great episode. But why did I bring that up? Because we were talking about
Beliefs and how they're getting trained, and they might be somebody else's. Obviously, they're not yours.
Yes, because we were talking about limiting beliefs and how do you help your clients get out of that. And he's like, first you have to know what it is, why, and then, because it could be like, I can't be the successful health coach because I'm not slim enough. But like there's evidence of other coaches that are not in perfect shape and they're doing it and they're making the money, right? So you're seeing evidence. Or like, I can't make a lot of money, but like, wait, I can do this, I can do that, and it's just interesting.
Yes, the limiting beliefs that you picked up, or anxiety and fear. Like people come to see me and I can tell that the anxiety or the worry they're having is not all theirs. I'm like, it's their mother, their sons having big issues, and they're carrying their worry and doubt and fear because they're so empathic. And there's there's always a little codependence going on in relationships. Right. A lot. So I say, let's separate what's yours and what's your mother's or your husband's. And that lightens them up a lot. Exactly. When they realize they're carrying other people's.
Right. And we get to decide what we want to believe and more empowered beliefs.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's next for you and the Feel Good Express?
Well, I'm so thrilled to be here with you, Linda, because one of my goals was to start my own little mini podcast, The Dose of Dede, where I give out my tips and my wisdom, and also to get on podcasts like this and share how easy it is to connect with your guardian angel and fall in love with yourself. It really is easy. So that's what I want people to know.
I love that. And what would you say about people that think, I think there's people that think it's selfish or they think it's weird, or the definite, however you said it, it's like literally everything to love yourself. It's literally the answer to success in all areas of your life.
Yeah. And I wrote an article about it. It's not conceited. It's not that you're full of yourself. Right. And Marianne Williamson, I think in her book, A Return to Love, that's another book I love. She said, if you're shining your light and showing people that you love yourself, then you're giving them permission to do it too, because we all just want to be big love bugs. Right. I say to people, your mantra is, I'm a love magnet, when they're trying to attract love in their life. You just walk around, I'm a love magnet. I'm a love magnet.
Yes. And it's like, I'm open and worthy to receive love. I'm open and worthy to receive prosperity, abundance, all these things. But it's like, I'm open and worthy to receive good, great. Like, I don't want to attract what I don't want, right? You want to attract what you
right. Do. You're so right, Linda, because I have people say, well, I want a soulmate, but I don't want somebody who's cheap. I don't want somebody who doesn't want to travel. I was like, wait. The universe just heard cheap. Doesn't want to travel.
Right.
That's what you get. So you know this. You always say what you want to come in.
You want.
Never what you don't want.
Right. Because what you focus on grows. And yeah, that's so incredible. So you are way ahead of, everyone else, being back in the 80s, that you were, like you said, before The Secret, right?
Yeah, I was doing this. That's why I had to hide it. Like when I came out, started doing this work, I go, my angels are out of the closet. Because, in broadcasting and sales, they're not that you can't talk about it, but it was a little like, oh, she's one of those woo-woo girls.
Right, right. I love it. I'm so glad we got to talk and meet because honestly, the audience doesn't know, but we tried 2 different times for 20 minutes to get this to work and Edry's schedule and everything. But I'm so glad that we did get to talk and meet. And
yeah, it's great. And I love your website and everything you're doing.
thank you.
Wow, your podcast. You're amazing.
Oh, thank you. So are you. So glad to meet you. Is there anything else you want to leave the audience with? And then you can tell them where they can find you.
Okay, so the big thing is believe it before you see it. And I know you said that my motto in the beginning is that you have to start just believing it. That's it.
Yeah, believing it. Like, yeah, Wayne Dyer said that as well.
Yeah, people say,
yeah,
I'll believe it when I see it. Like,
right. But you have to believe it first. You have to believe it first. And that's why I love to, in the mornings for me, I love to say magic and miracles happens all the time. Miracles happen every day. We live in a miraculous, beautiful universe, right? And just like when you start feeding that positivity, you will see magic and miracles, right?
Yes, magic and miracles. So if it's okay with you, Linda, I'm just going to pull one card in closing.
Of course.
Do you want to pick it?
Sure. How do I pick it virtually?
So we're going with right and left, right hand, left hand.
Let's go with that one. I guess it's your right.
Okay. And then we're going right and left.
We'll go with your right.
Okay. And then one more time, right and left.
We'll stick with the right. Yeah.
Love it. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's one over here.
I'll try 6, please.
Okay. Woo! I love it. And you're not going to believe what was next to it. Miracles.
Oh, wow. I love it.
But this is wonderful. Enchantment. This is the most childlike card in the deck. And you see the unicorn there, and they just want us to have our sense of wonder. Like I was saying earlier, Grandma, look at that blue butterfly. So, yep, enchantment. Just bring back your childlike wonder and like your fresh eyes on every day, like you're seeing everything for the first time.
Thank you so much. Oh, I love that. And where can people find you?
Dede at Feel Good Express is my email. Dede at feelgoodexpress.com. And then my website is Feel Good Express. And then my Instagram is Dede Feels Good.
And it's DEDE, not DIEI, DEDE. Yes. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Great. Thank you again. I'm just so grateful.
Me too.
Be on your podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope it was inspiring. I hope that you were inspired to step deeper into your power and embrace the abundance that's around you and within you. If you loved this episode, please share with someone you think would benefit. Subscribe so you know when the next episode is, and leave a review. It means so much to me to grow this audience. Let's try to help as many people as we can. Let's try to create a new earth. And let's stay connected. Follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at Linda Brand Coach and Abandoned to Abundant. Also, if you're ready to take your transformation even further, check out my coaching and resources at lindabrandcoach.com. Remember, you are worthy, you are powerful, and abundance is your birthright. Take care, everybody. Till next time.